is a fifth dimension beyond what is known to man. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You've just crossed over into the box score zone.
Thanks.
What's the matter? All those free college T-shirts weighing you down? You couldn't head over to the printer and get your own stuff?
I just thought you could print it out for me. I mean, I'm kind of busy up here doing my...
You just thought what?
I'm printing out some... thing.
Exactly.
Why it bothers me, I'm just trying to work on the show, and Dan gets on my case. I wish I could be in the hotel room, my towel and pantsless, and watching Cinemax and ordering lo mein.
The portrait of a frightened man, Mr. Paul Pabst, husband, father, Danette, has just come to the realization that he is not who he thought he once was, but now has become something else entirely. And on a day not dissimilar to this one, on a channel very similar to the one you're currently watching, the box score starts now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Colin Cowherd for box score.
Howdy ho, and welcome to the box score. I'm DJ, back in the chair today. They are the Danettes in Milford. Guys, the NFL Draft Combine is underway. Paulie, say you're a GM drafting in the 7th round, you got a draft to just throw away. Which Danette do you think is the most NFL ready?
NFL ready? I mean, none of the above.
We can see that graphic, by the way.
Oh, man, I mean, I can't think of any role with any NFL team on the field that any of us could do.
Oh, I'm going to take Andrew.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with McLovin. He's got the size.
Okay, you know, I'm going to go with McLovin because, though he's not athletic, he was pretty good at catching punts when we were down in Miami. I think if you knew it was a fair catch and he just ran in and you said, son, put your arm up and fair catch it, you would catch
Probably
it.
got the biggest hands of all of us.
Look at what I'm doing right now.
Driving?
Holding a clipboard.
Yeah.
I was born to hold a clipboard. Yeah. I love being on the team and not getting it. That's what I did in high school. On the basketball team, I was a bench warmer.
Fritzy
hung out with the cheerleaders.
Fritzy might like to be a long snapper. You're in that bend over position, very comfortable, very soothing, very gets things going.
I'd be good with
Snap the
that.
ball back.
I don't know if any quarterback would want to position himself.
Have you ever heard Todd whenever he had to bend over or do anything like that? He's always like, okay, here we go. Here, got it. Here it is.
It's the
Need
whole,
some help getting up out of here.
It's the whole getting up afterwards is the tough part. I can get into the position, but
snap
eventually,
something.
Eventually, you have to get up out of that position. That's where medical personnel would be involved.
Well, if McLovin did it, we would get a lot more video of broken glasses, so I'm all in for that. Well, you four got to prove your draft stock in the Mancave Combine today. Everyone participated, but McLovin, you had to face the reigning Dan Olympic gold medalist, Patrick Seaman O'Connor. Was Patty Boy the favorite going into today's event?
Wait a second. When did we have this Olympics and what were set events? And
no recollection.
I'm sorry, DJ, just that picture right there brought back memories. That was like ping pong and...
Hold on a second.
Highlight?
It was whatever it was, considering it's funny. I have no recollection of this either. Obviously, we have video of me standing atop a podium, and obviously these were sanctioned Danette Olympic events. Okay, listen, buddy, Miami was a long time ago, okay? We've done
People
stuff
still
since
remember
then.
that.
I like
Where
that you
was
can't.
said podium?
I do like you can't admit that Seton won an event, even though there's a video of him winning the event.
What is that video? That's him standing on a podium pretending to cry.
While none of us remember those events, I'm assuming they have.
How do you know we were like, hey, let's reenact the 1980 Winter Olympics?
How did we do that? And how do we not remember what
Honestly, is anyone? I seem to remember. Wasn't there a mini ping pong table in the studio?
No.
What was that from?
Wow.
So
DJ, do any of the people, the producers out in Los Angeles, remember what that Olympics was for? Any of the events?
We know that whatever it was absolutely legit, but no. All we know is that he was crying,
That's
so
right.
that means that it's legitimate, right?
Can't be.
It's got to be legit.
Yes.
Well, the truth is, Seton is the most athletic. You should win every athletic competition we've ever had.
No, I think that I maybe could be.
Yes.
More athletic than I am.
You have a window.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't have, 37 tall boys a night, eat terribly, and actually exercise once in a while, I might be a decent athlete.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not. So, Maybe at one point in time I was.
And what does that say for the rest of us? Because you usually dominate the rest of us in most events.
That's not true. Paul wins a ton. Andrew wins a lot. I'm usually the disappointment. Like, you should have done better.
Ironically, we all agree he might be the best natural athlete in the group.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I think Fritzy has some good athletic skills, competitive skills. He kind of sees a way to win. I think he's got. I could tell that he played grade school sports a lot.
By the way, do we have to bring back the Hasselhoff summer picture of him all ripped? I mean,
none of us, a young A-Rod.
None of us ever looked like. I mean, you look like Brady Quinn in 1987.
And he's on his way back there, though. He may collapse of exhaustion any second. He looks great.
I'm on like 9 calories a day.
And Paul here, we know he's crafty. He's the crafty veteran.
He's crafty.
He's the,
find a way.
You're the Gaylord
He's got the heart of anybody. He's the one that really wants to win.
Right. Because remember, without that competitiveness, I would have zero chance of winning anything athletically. I'm completely aware of this.
Unless we're on the archery field, you really
there. Don't even show up.
Well, I second Fritzy being the most athletic. I mean, that lefty hook. All right, well, the long-awaited broad jump competition lived up to the hype. So let's relive the epic show of athleticism that was.
Step there.
Okay, but we'll give it to him.
Well, there you go, kid.
All right, improved.
Ooh.
There you go.
I'm done. I need some.
There you go, Paul.
Yeah, I have 3 in me. Yes.
Right. Yeah, about the same.
Look at you.
Nice, Fritzy.
Holy
Fritzel.
smokerinis.
Okay.
That was a good one.
So,
That's awesome.
That's as far as
individual,
okay?
and then for you, okay?
Yeah,
You got anything hanging out?
I got to push something back in.
No! Oh, sorry, we have to take the hand. Yeah, the hand went back.
Oh, get out of
That's
here.
the way it works. This is going to be pretty close.
Dude, you got to stand in the middle. You missed that one.
Oh, wow. That is going to be a winner-winner chicken
Yeah, that's
dinner.
winner-winner chicken dinner right
McLovin
there.
winner combined with Fritzy.
Oh,
Back
man.
row, front row. Might as well rub it in.
Yeah, you saw it right there. Winner, chicken dinner. Nobody even commented on the fact that I'm wearing long underwear underneath shorts. It's gotten to the point where I can change.
It's pretty normal.
Can
It's
change
like-
into my underwear in the middle of the show. No comments whatsoever.
You're right.
And by the way, that was the only way I was in that competition. I tried it later with jeans, and I was like 3 feet back. I don't know how you guys did that in those outfits.
was doing it.
I'll tell you, I would love to be able to blame my pants, but I've been wearing pants for a long time. I could be wearing no pants. I'd still be just as unathletic.
Well, Paulie, you dug up an Olympic rule that allowed Seton to re-jump after Perloff won the first time. Perloff also got a re-jump, but just out of pure sympathy. And re-jump they did with a huge dismount to close it off.
Yeah. So right before.
That's a... Put it by that one.
Who do you trust? The IOC or Paulie?
Right around there. That might be my limit in skinny jeans.
Yeah, but you're right here.
Your best
You're right
one.
there. Yeah, that's your best one.
All right, first of all, these are my heavy boots.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
That didn't go.
Are those made of cement? Dude.
Got a little messy there.
That was dangerous. Andrew, clear winner there. His heels ended up all the way against
Those
the
boots
wall,
were
the
super
far
heavy.
wall, which was amazing. Yeah, they were like cinder blocks on your feet. All of a sudden, you had zero
to the
lift
bottom of the-
whatsoever.
Somehow during that scene, during that replay, I started thinking about oh wow, that's ugly. If you can show Seton again, if you don't mind, Mr. Replay Man. I started thinking about the Dan Aykroyd butt crack plumber bit on SNL. It just started whipping through my mind as that video came along. A lot of crack, but a big win.
Yeah, a lot of skin.
Yeah, I know. Have you been tested for crack? 'Cause I think it was positive.
Just say no to crack, Seton.
All right.
Just say no. And McLovin, way to
I'm
go,
sure it
bud.
does.
You look like Fritzy trying to block David Deal. Hey, stick around. Charles Barkley, a Laker, and good old-fashioned celebrity deathmatch next. The box score is powered by the Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Every truck can tow a boat. Every truck can climb a hill. Every truck can haul a trailer, but not everybody has the most fuel-efficient half-ton truck on the road. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram.
Norm Macdonald was telling a story that Chris Farley had this bit he used to do in the hallways. We'd go up to someone and start to tell a story, but he'd never get to the story. Like, he'd always interrupt it with different things. He'd be like, dude, I was at the bar the other day, and so this guy walks in the bar, and he said, the bartender, by the way, was a jerk. He wouldn't serve me. And he would never get to the story, and there was no story.
That's great.
He said we'd do it in the hallways to just, like a secretary or, like a camera guy. and he'd see how long he could do it to keep the person on it. He'd be like, okay, so, and then this guy, first of all right, hold on, oh, my watch. He would never get to the story, and people, Chris Farley is such an energetic guy, he could keep people going. And they talked Lauren Michaels into doing that bit on the air for a Weekend Update, it was like story time with Chris Farley. And Chris was never going to get to it. And the thing Norm said, he goes,
is it Chris Rock or Chris Farley?
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley.
And he goes, yeah, I'll give him like 1 minute to do this. And they're like, no, that's the point. 1 minute's not enough. We need a little bit of time to breathe. He goes, no, I can't give up that much time. So it never made the air.
So you just falling over is like the best.
Bravo, Fritzy, bravo. I mean, amazing coordination by the back row there. Hey, welcome back to the Box Score. Guys, the NBA trade deadline has come and gone. Charles Barkley's name was recently in the papers for a retracted trade that would have made him a Laker in the early 90s. McLovin, Barkley is a Laker, cool or crazy?
I'm just saying, unbelievably cool. Everything Barkley does is awesome. It would have been so cool if he was a good Laker. I don't know if you guys know this, but he was a Philadelphia 76er, and he chose to live right in my neighborhood. That's when I stole his Just Say No to Drugs.
He was
broke into his car.
Close to
he was really close. He used to come to our high school games. He used to be friends with people in our high school. I swear to God, he was like 21.
That's pretty cool.
Kind of weird, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, he was all over the hood.
Yeah, there's another word for that.
Hanging out at the high school games.
Sounds like you could have played for the Predators.
No.
I'm kidding, it's a joke. I'm joking.
No, he supports
a
the local team.
It's a joke.
He was a real good dude, so he would have helped the Lakers.
Well, Sir Charles called in and not only talked about being traded to Phoenix, but about how bummed he was about the timing.
People always ask me if I have any regrets about my career. I probably should have, because I had told the Sixers, I'm never going to play here again. I don't want to go public because I didn't want to alienate the people in Philadelphia. I told them I'm not coming back here. I would never put a Sixer uniform on again. The summer they traded me. I wish I'd have did that 2 years sooner, because my last 2 years in Philly, 2 years in Philly, which is miserable.
Now, I might have missed something. I thought they traded him to Phoenix, and I remember this very well, for Jeff Hornacek, Tim Perry,
Lang,
and
Andrew Lang.
Andrew Lang. Is that what we said on the show? I thought we went with a different group.
No. He asked.
If the Laker deal would
He said if the Laker deal had gone through, what was being posed, and it was Eldon Campbell.
Okay.
And James Worthy, an aging James Worthy.
Oh.
But I was in Phoenix when Barkley got there, and he took over that state.
That was great.
That's a state that never had a star, even close to his level.
Why doesn't Goran Dragic? I was thinking this. Why does Goran Dragic want out of Phoenix? Remember how we had so much fun. It's so nice out there.
Probably dated all the girls there and wants a new town. That's what most of these guys, that's just boredom.
Well, I was in Phoenix for the Super Bowl, and he must have had a good time.
Chuck STP, something that's been burning in America's mind lately. Will the Boston Colin Cowherd ever throw down? Seton, is there a celebrity death match in the works here?
Oh man, that would be so awesome. But no, I don't believe that'll ever happen. Not even for charity. Not for anything where they're like, hey, we'll put up $1 million and then we'll fight or whatever.
No.
Not happening. That being said, I can think of a lot of people that I would love to see fight.
give us a couple.
One another or just in general?
Skip Bayless fight someone. Anyone. That would be pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can you go radio on radio shows? Like, if you got, like, Mike and Mike fighting, like, what's another, like, duo? Like, Petros and Money or something? Like, that would be so rad.
Russillo and Van
And that's
Pelt.
actually, you got two sort of skinny dudes there, although Greeny's actually pretty tall. He's sneaky big. He's like you.
I would put Mike and Mike against Russillo and Van Pelt, because Russillo's in good shape. He's been lifting a lot of weights. It's a lot of show stuff, a lot of tight shirts.
Yeah.
But I think he'd give Golic a handful. I think Van Pelt, not a fighter, more of a golfer than a fighter.
Greeny's going to be checking his nails and everything.
Greeny definitely not a fighter.
What about production staffs? Could we take the Mike and Mike production staff?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, their lead guy's British. Great guy.
Don't they have a guy who is like they have a guy who's being compared to Ray, the Packers, Ray Nitschke? Don't they have like a
Ray?
linebacker?
Yeah, Ray.
There's a guy named Ray and a guy named William who are good
Ray's
buddies
not a
of
fighter.
ours.
He's
not fighters.
Oh, he's not. Like
Unless you had a gigantic bag of candy and you were like, I'm taking this from you, he would definitely kick your ass then, because he's a big candy guy.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's
well, what you said, is there any like a football show or something that we can?
Okay, now Van Pelt's show has a producer named Steve, Big Steve.
Yeah.
Now Steve played football and actually played at Stanford.
He's tight end.
You don't want any part of
Big
Steve.
dude. You don't want any part
He's got a lot. He packs a punch.
Steve. Yeah, he's a big dude.
Steve-o. Well, and you guys are forgetting that you have two-a-days, so how could you lose? Well, getting back to the
this is true.
to the celebrity death match, Dan put Barkley on the spot and asked him, "Who you got?"
I might go for the draw.
No. You got to pick one.
You know, Dan, I know you better. You know, I like Colin, but you've been a friend of mine for a long time. I would bet on you.
Well, don't pick me because we're friends.
Dan, listen, I don't think either one of y'all ever been in a real fight, to be honest with you. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't think either one of y'all ever been in a fight that y'all won. That's two different things.
Well, you got to kill me. I will say that. That's all I'm going to say to you.
Okay, Dan, I'm going with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with you. And the guy say he want to fight to the death. You got to go with him.
This is an interesting topic. It's funny that Barkley will say anything about anybody at any time. With this topic, he's like, I can't really pick. Barkley couldn't pick. Now, what I think it should happen is Colin should invite Barkley on his show tomorrow and see who he picks and see if Chuck flip-flops. Now we're discussing here, in all seriousness, if Dan fought Colin Cowherd. I think Colin's in pretty good shape. He looks like he's like 6'2" or 6'3" and quite jacked. I think it would be a good fight because I think Colin has a lot of anger and built-up stuff. I don't know how Dan wins, but I know he won't lose in front of us.
See, I think that Dan is more the guy with built-up stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think that Colin just sort of gets it all out, spews stuff out. And I don't think he really cares because he's more of a West Coast guy. He's like, yeah, it's okay, easy breezy kind of thing,
into
right?
super jaw face
Dan
mode.
has like everything all like inside of him that he's all pissed off about.
Right.
And I think that if it came down to a fight, while Dan may not have age necessarily on his side and he's got a bunch of injuries, I think the heart gets him through.
I think about this. He said, "You'll have to kill me," which I do believe.
He's like Cap Rooney in Any Given Sunday. It doesn't look good. He's kind of crinkly, getting out there, but he's going to make it happen playoff time.
But this motion, say he tries to throw a right-handed punch, and say he connects. That's surgery right there. Boom.
That's
Just
fine.
goes straight
That's
to the
after.
arm.
Doesn't matter. It's after.
This motion would tear his labrum in
Get fixed up
half.
after the win. I'll sew you back up.
Cut me, Mick.
Well, win or lose, you know that Dan's emotions are going to go wild, and you know he's going to cry, so I'm totally in to watch that. Don't go away. We found a cast for the ESPN movie. Find out who's playing who next. Could the four of you guys take on Charles Barkley?
In a fist fight?
All four of you
No.
at the same time?
I don't
Yes.
think so.
Yes.
I think you could.
I don't know how we could get him down. How can we get him down? Like, he's a big dude. One punch would just...
Well, Seaton
One of
can
us has to
clearly
hit him in the
jump.
eye
He could
socket.
jump up and grab him from the back of the neck, kind of bring him down, and then Fritzy kind of just...
Like Chris Kattan?
Yeah, just floor work. Josh, you're saying no.
I would not want to see that fight.
I would throw Fritzy in and make him deal with Fritzy because Fritzy is still a big guy. And then when he's dealing with Fritzy, go to the eyes and nuts.
Yeah, well, I feel like we set up Fritzy for the home run punch, like the left-handed uppercut,
Yeah.
but I don't see Fritzy really.
No, have Fritzy charge in. He's got to jump on a grenade. You know, Fritzy, you're not going to make it.
I have nothing to this fight. I feel like my particular skill set in fighting, I have a good jab if I'm fighting a guy who weighs 130 pounds.
I got a picture standing next to Barkley once, and he enveloped me.
Yeah.
He's just like, I look like I'm a 5'8" child. You know?
What about
Welcome to the club.
You know, one other thing, Dan has lost a lot of weight. This will hurt him in the fight.
Yeah, he's definitely not lasting.
But he can move, stick and
He's
move.
like,
he's got to connect
from
early.
Light heavyweight to middleweight.
He's wispy.
You're going to write the screenplay for ESPN, the movie. Is that official?
Okay. Well, I guess it is. I mean, the papers. Yeah, I guess. I mean, deal is just signed. You have good sources.
Hey, we're back here on the box score. Wow, strong statement there. Dan's former ESPN sidekick, Keith Olbermann, gave him his ideal cast for the future mega blockbuster, and it looks a little something like this. Jason Biggs would star as Rich Eisen with hair and Rich Eisen without hair. Come on, give it up, Rich. Stop playing games. Damon Wayans Jr. would be playing the late, great Stuart Scott. and Benedict Cumberbatch takes on the role of young DP. McLovin, solid casting?
Unbelievably solid casting. I don't think Rich liked that, Jason. It's like, yeah, I'm sure.
I don't think Jason Biggs liked it.
Yeah, I think it was like, I get Jason Biggs and Dan gets Benedict Cumberbatch, but I'm telling you, and I actually emailed the guys. I was so excited. Like, Cumberbatch rules right now.
Yeah, not exactly a pretty boy though. I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Cumberbatch.
I wouldn't know that.
Everyone likes his name and that he's.
You guys, you're so unsighted. You got to see the latest Star Trek. He kicks ass.
I can assure you that Dan would have rather heard Ryan Gosling than Benedict Cumberbatch.
I tell you,
or Ryan Reynolds.
Ask for
right.
Yeah. Ask for well. All right, you're not going to get Gosling.
Ryan Reynolds. How about Ryan Reynolds as Dan?
You need some
tall, strapping.
Funny.
You guys are crazy. Watch Cumberbatch is the real deal.
I thought Cumberbatch was in a really bad movie too, though, and that's like torpedoing all of his.
No, that's
guy.
Eddie Raymond.
Oh, Eddie.
Yeah, no, it's Cumberbatch. Dude, he literally.
He's the Brooklyn of actors.
Talking about
Benedict Cumberbatch. He's the best guy. Honestly,
Sure.
Dan could. Clive Owen 5 years ago.
He walks on clouds. He could do nothing wrong.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah. His name was Tom Batch. He would be like, I don't care.
Tommy Batch.
I kind of wanted Cumberbatch to play me. No big deal.
I'm still in
More
for Jason
close.
Bateman. Just throw him on some stilts and he'll be fine. But Paulie, how pissed off would you be if they plugged Bill Pullman into the role of DP?
Ooh, why would you bring that name?
That guy's awful.
DJ, now Paul's going to be in a bad mood the rest of the day.
They put him in.
I'm sorry. I just think that guy's awful.
Why do they keep putting him in?
Well, you know what? Actually, I'm not gonna. I know what you're gonna say. I've been very mean to Bull Pullman in the past, but since he hasn't worked in a long time, I'm all for him getting the job. I mean, he needs some. You know what? I have nothing personal against Bill Pullman. Just it's about his.
You didn't like him as a president in Independence Day?
The only thing worse than him is that movie.
Wow.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Wow.
Yeah, Benedict.
Well, you know what? We've got a surprise. Come on out, Bill. Bill? Oh, he left.
Bring him out.
What?
Bring him out.
Well, another sneaky good casting move made by KO was that of choosing the great David Leisure to play an older Dan Patrick. Fritzy, which casting is more accurate? Leisure as DP or Bert Young as an elderly Toddy Joe Fritz?
Well, trying to put the bias aside of my sensitivity to being compared to Bert Young. I always thought before I even worked with Dan many years ago, I always thought
he's got the same exact little nose.
A strong resemblance.
Bert Young, listen face.
And Dan. I'm going to say Dan and Joey Zuzu, and I'm not getting.
Can you possibly put those pictures? There you go.
Bert Young, listen face.
You can just leave those up.
I am going to continue to keep losing weight and do whatever I have to do to myself to distance myself from that comparison to Bert Young.
Bert Young's not happy about this.
No, he can't possibly be happy about that, Bert Young. But yeah, Dan and Joey Zuzu, there's a strong.
His name isn't actually Joe Isuzu, right? He's an actor?
I think he actually has a real name.
Right, okay.
I think it's
I just know David Leisure, yeah.
What a great name, by the way.
I think they look
That's a cool name, David Leisure. It's like Tom Knapp.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
He's very relaxed.
Hey, Todd, just humor me. How would Bert Young sound if he was booking Reggie Miller?
Hey, Reggie, come on the show. You owe it to me. You owe it to no. You owe it to yourself to go on the damn Patrick.
You sound like Michael Rappaport.
I don't really
sounds like Bert Young.
You can't win. I have to go back to me. I don't have a Bert Young other than that.
I'm assuming. Yeah, I was assuming that's what you would do.
If you want to imitate Bert Young, just look at the camera.
Okay, I'm doing my Bert Young impersonation.
Oh, fantastic! Fantastic!
I gave you my sister. You owe me, Rock. You owe yourself, Paulie.
Well, coming up, Paulie and Seton play hairdresser for the man with the hair. Hey, this is the Box Score, and we're taking a break to remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty with the best in-class towing, torque, and horsepower doesn't need one. Guts, glory, Ram. Hey, we're closing up shop here at the Box Score Bar, and yes, Paulie, I am old enough to be at the bar by 4.5 months. Thank you. Guys, several reports popped up on the Twitter machine. I've never seen you not at a bar. That's very accurate. Guys, several reports have popped up on the Twitter machine of something strange hanging out in the lovely mane of Dan Patrick. Here's an image of what Dan Nation has been talking about. Fritzy, what was the foreign object in the boss's locks?
I still don't know what that is. Paulian Seaton came to Dan's rescue at the end of, I think, that segment, or early on enough to, because they had seen some Twitter action going on about it, and I don't know if it was a piece of lint or something from a sweatshirt or what that was, and then they tried to get a closer look, and they were shining their cell phones at it, and then it went away.
Fritzy, is when he walked over moments later, both Seaton and I saw it on the TV screen.
But then you didn't
it was
see
gone.
It was really
Any
strange.
chance Saboteur, graphics guys? Graphics guys salty about how we've been treated.
That would take some effort from the graphics guys, though. And we all know
to build a graphic of a little piece of paper, it probably took them 2 days. 2 days.
It was like a mirage.
Yeah, and I don't know that that's 2 days. Rather than it costing them no days to do nothing.
Right.
I feel like they would probably take that.
Just saying. I'm not saying.
Yeah,
No
confirmed.
offense,
They don't really like to work.
No offense.
Well, it wasn't long after reports surfaced that the I-Team sprung into action.
Now, we have multiple reports that there was a white speck. Can you come here into the light? In your hair.
Yeah, this is the Twitter is a buzz
Now,
about the
am I allowed
speck in
to
your
touch?
hair.
All right. Is NBC okay with this?
Wait, let me
Spot
get
me
a little.
scene. Give me that. Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't see it anymore.
Wait
it
a
was on
minute.
TV.
Hold up.
I'll get the light.
What's this?
I'll get the light. Careful.
Careful of the hair plugs.
Oh.
Are they still sore?
Yeah. Yeah, I got Rooney hair plugs.
I think that's the maximum time we're allowed to touch your hair.
Man, what a mystery, huh? My theory is that, and first of all, it was amazing that this hand was just run through Dan's.
You can't possibly wash that.
Never washing these again.
Yeah, I ran this right through Dan's like this.
My guidance counselor said I'd never get to anywhere.
He actually gave a Fritzy. So,
what do you think it is?
I think that when he took his headphones off, it dislodged said white thing.
Oh.
It's my guess. I don't know. I don't have any proof of that. But if I was going some type of conspiracy theory or just what might actually logically make sense, I bet it was a headphone situation.
Or it could have dropped. I say we get a new ceiling in here because if stuff is falling from the ceiling on Dan's hair, it's only a matter of time till something serious happens.
Kind of
I would say
of 1,000
put about
chunks.
10, 15 grand into a new ceiling.
Yeah, go ahead and throw it on DirecTV's bill. We got you. Fritzy, you also have to understand if DP doesn't want your fingers anywhere near his head. Toddy Joe, who's on tomorrow?
Sports Illustrated NBA senior writer Chris Mannix is likely going to join us.
Long intro.
Likely.
And starting with a likely going to join
get
us.
his thoughts on
Who's booked for tomorrow's show?
deadline. There is no one booked for tomorrow's
just
show,
say it.
but we did touch base with Chris Mannix, who is readily available, standing in the on-deck
So
circle.
we didn't even book him yet? That means with a show that doesn't have one guest?
We have no guest for
So
tomorrow's
all
show.
we know for sure is that Mannix has nothing going on tomorrow.
Right, because we touched base with Chris, didn't even give him a formal invitation.
Wow.
We love him that much, and he's that understanding about how things change by the minute with the show.
Can't believe you do
he's
that,
on
Tom.
standby, waiting for the prospect of being officially invited. And other than that, it's a crapshoot. We're just going to pull some names out of a hat and start calling people.
Wow, amazing work, Todd. Well, that means Bill Pullman, please call in. Thanks for watching The Box Score. Catch us every day at 3 p.m. Eastern on Audience Channel 239 right here on DirecTV. Don't forget to catch our podcast on iTunes and podcast1.com. Cheers to you, Box Score Nation.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!